Hi, scrapbookers. This is Megan, and I am back with another challenge layout. And this one, Ronnie and Jennifer and I are going to be doing embossing. And I think they might also be doing a sketch, but I didn't have a time to do a new layout this week. And so I'm using an older one. And uh, what am I saying? So I didn't end up doing a sketch. But our challenge was to do a sketch and embossing this week. So I'm going to do this 2-page layout, and I I think I made this back in like April or May, possibly even June. I don't remember, but I just had these really cute pictures of Jonas with his physical therapist, and this was back in 2008, and she did some water physical therapy with him and just working on, trunk strength and leg strength and everything. And I just really liked these photos, and I wanted to do a 2-page layout because I had, let's see, 10 photos, and they were kind of small, and so I'm going to crop them all down and um, do them on 2 layouts. So for this the collection that I'm using is let's see, what was it called? It was one of the summer ones from Simple Stories last year, and I can't really remember what it's called, but it's a really, really cute kit, and I think I just got it. I don't remember where I got it. Maybe I got it from All Scrapbook Steals or scrapbooksteals.com, I think. And so what I'm doing here, I didn't want to use any one certain background paper because I liked the backgrounds, and so I wanted to just cut them down. And so here I'm using just a white piece of paper, 12 by 12 paper from my stash, and then I just cut down all of the papers to the sizes that I wanted and then glued them onto the layout. So now here I'm just going to start going through the photos and picking out which ones I want to go where. And I'm going to start cutting them down so that I know what will fit and where it will fit. So this is going to take a little bit of time, and this layout did take quite a while. I don't remember how long exactly. It took probably like an hour and a half to 2 hours, just because I spent a lot of time, cutting up the papers and then also cutting up the photos and trying to figure out where I want them to be placed on the layout. And so I go quite a few different ways on this layout. You can see I kind of pushed them all together and overlapped them, and then I didn't really like that, so I decided not to do that. Here I pulled out some scrap paper from my stash, and I'm just going to use it. It's just a white paper. I think it's the filler paper that you get like when you buy a postbound album. It comes with, 10 uh, protector sheets, and then it also comes with 10 pieces of white paper, and it's really thin paper, and so I don't like using it. So what I usually do is I just keep it in my stash and I use it for uh, matting photos and things like that. So here I just mat all of these photos on this white paper. And yeah, so that's going to take a little bit of time. I'm still kind of trying to figure out how I want them placed, and I think that is pretty much the way it's going to be. But here I decide that I kind of want a yellow color behind the photos, and so I just spray my Heidi Swapp Color Shine, and that I really like how that looks, but it's going to take a little bit for it to dry, so I'm going to kind of leave it there and just let it dry for a little while. Okay, so now here I'm back with my photos, and I'm going to start placing these ones down on the left-hand layout. And I like how that looks, so that is how I'm going to keep those photos. And I'm not sure what I do next. I don't remember. So let's see. It was so long ago that I just don't remember exactly how I put the layout together. So here I pulled out this sticker sheet that has a bunch of different alphas on it. I pulled out some of my wax paper and just cut it into pieces so that I could use it. And here I'm thinking I'm going to use that um, wood grain alpha that kind of has a slant to it, but since I wanted to put the title down there right on top of that wood grain paper, it wasn't going to work out. Then I tried the red and that didn't really work. It was just a little too small, I think is what I didn't like about it. Then I pulled off this sticker and it says it doesn't get any better than this. So now here I pulled out a different alpha that was blue and it had some glitter on it, but that was just going to blend in too much to that blue background. So finally I find this Dear Lizzie alpha and I don't quite remember what it's called, but I really like this alpha. It's one of my favorites. So the title is going to be Let's Play, and it's going to go across both pages right there, just right above that wood grain paper. And I'm really, really liking this so far. So I think I'm just going to set it down. So I'm going to clean up my alpha real quick. Now I'm going to glue down those pictures on the left page of this layout. And then once I do that, I'm not sure if I'm going to embellish some more on that page or if I'm going to move over to the right side. Excuse me. Yeah, so here I did decide to pull out some of these decorative brads that came in this collection, and I'm going to put them one to the right of that little tag and then one right above it. So here I'm just using my little Stampin' Up! Scissors to put this pink one down there, and then I'm going to put some washi tape over top of it. And I do that just so that when I put it in my albums, it doesn't get caught. And I got that idea from someone. I don't remember who. Maybe it was Katie Scott or Mercy Tiara. I don't really remember, but I really like doing that because it does help a lot. Okay, so now here I'm thinking maybe I need to do like some more embellishing and stuff. And so I had a couple of stickers and other things from my stash that I thought I would use, but that it didn't work out in that area. I liked doing the title there better. So I did have these close to my heart little wood veneer trinkets, I think they're called, or something like that. And there were 3 different sizes of arrows. So I pulled those out and was like, oh, maybe I should use those. But then I remembered that I had these old ones, and those I believe were from that chevron. That chevron was from Studio Calico, and I've had those for quite a while, and so I thought maybe I should try to use that up, but I didn't like the way it looked. So now here I'm just going to pull out all 3 sizes of these wood veneer arrows or chevron pieces, whatever you want to call them, and I'm going to put them in like littlest to biggest towards the title. So here I'm just using my Tombow Aqua Glue to lay those down, and then I'm going to put the title down. And I don't actually glue the title down. I probably need to go back and do that because I was just fussing with it and it started coming up. So yeah, I need to go and glue those back down with my mono glue or aqua glue. Okay, so I do the exact same thing on the other side, and I am really, really happy with that. The thing that I love about two-page layouts is that it just flows. Like, it's not exactly the same page, but a lot of times they are very similar. The photos are set up similar and things like that, and so it's just a lot of fun to have it kind of be an echo of the first page, have the second page be an echo. So now here I'm going to start cutting up these other photos that I have for the second page for the right side. And I'm just kind of cutting them a little bit close to, you know, my son and his therapist because they are the main focus, and I want to make sure that I can get all of these on this layout. So here I'm going to start mounting these photos on some of this white paper that I did before. And you can see that I already have it cut up, and that's because I was doing a project, and I honestly don't even remember what the project was, but I had them cut into, like already cut into pieces, like big chunks. So a lot of these photos actually fit on these already cut up scrap pieces of paper. So that was really nice that I didn't have to do so much cutting into big sheets of paper. So now here I'm just going to cut all of those down, and I think I'm going to cut this out because it's going to take a little while, but yeah, that's basically all I'm doing. Okay, now I am just kind of fidgeting with the placement of these photos and trying to figure out where I want them all to go. Now I'm going to glue them down. And like I said earlier, I'm just so happy with this layout. It just turned out so awesome. I didn't even have, you know, very much of an idea of what I was going to do. And usually when I do that, I don't always like the end result. And so this was really nice to not go off a sketch or not, you know, have anything in mind like a scrap lift. And it came out to be awesome. And I just love the result. Okay, so here I'm pulling off some more of those decorative brads. There was an ampersand that also had a little brad in it, and so I was thinking I'm going to put that up there, and but then I decided that it's a little bit too big and I don't really like it. So here I'm just pulling off a couple of these sheets or these stickers from the sticker sheet. This one down there in the bottom right says dream, and then I'm going to pull off a couple more stickers. Let's see. I guess I kind of changed my mind a little bit here because I did pull off a brad and then I put it back. So here I'm okay with that dream. So I put that down there. Then I noticed that there are some more word stickers, and so I'm going to stick 3 of them here, and then I'm going to place one of the brads from the decorative brad collection in between the stickers. So the top one says the best, and it's just a gray sticker. The middle one says just being happy, and that's the pink, and then the bottom one is blue and it says splish splash. So yeah, I really like the way that turned out. Okay, so now I am looking through the sticker sheet again and just trying to see if there's some other stuff that I want to put on the layout. Just for decoration, and there was these heart stickers and a flower sticker, and I really liked those, so I added those to both sides of the page. And now here I am just kind of looking over everything and trying to figure out what else I want to do because I know it needs something more. So here I pulled out a couple of the scrap pieces of paper that I had just cut up and all of the other pieces of paper from the collection. So I'm just kind of going through those and trying to figure out what I want to do. And yeah, just kind of looking through my papers and everything. So here I decided to pull out this rainbow paper, and I really like that the pink side, and so I'm going to use that and cut it into a banner. And at first I was thinking maybe I would use the blue side, but with the pink side, it was a nice pop of color. There was so much blue on the layout already that having the pink was just really yeah, like a nice pop of color, like I said. Okay, so there I put one there, and then I cut up the other side of that piece, and I am gonna put it on the left side of the layout. This collection also came with some acetate and specialty 4x6 papers. So I pulled that out thinking maybe I'll put that there because I knew it looked a little bare up there on the top and I wasn't quite sure what I was going to do up there. So yeah, I just decided that might look kind of pretty up there. Then I pull out this little viewfinder and I'm going to put half of it over there on that side. And then I'm going to put the other half of it on the other side of the layout. So here I'm just kind of fiddling with that, and then I'm going to put this little wood chip piece that came with a different collection. It was, let's see, I think I'm going to show you. I think it was a My Mind's Eye collection, and you couldn't really see it, but so I apologize. So here I am still thinking that that area above the title is just really bare and it needs something more. I stick the other half of that viewfinder over there by that banner. And here's where I decide to put these heart stickers there on the layout. And I like how that looks a little bit better than that acetate sheet that I had pulled out. And let's see, I think I'm coming to the end where I'm just going to be like, okay, I have no idea what else I'm going to do with this. At one point I was thinking, well, maybe I'll do some journaling on there. And I just wasn't quite sure what I wanted to say. And so here I'm showing you close-ups of what I've already done because I'm pretty satisfied with this. It's not completely done, but for the time being, I was satisfied. Like I said, I made this layout back in probably like May or June, and at the time, let's see, I don't remember if I had like an assignment or something that I did this for, but then it didn't end up working out for the assignment. I can't remember, but I just haven't gone back to this layout since then. But then when we decided we were going to do embossing on a layout for one of our challenges, I was so excited because I remembered that I still had this layout. And so I thought, I am totally going to do like the powder embossing. I wasn't going to do the embossing folders, which I could have done that, but I just thought it would look really cool to do something with embossing, the powder embossing on this layout. So here I am, and this I just did a couple days ago, and so I found this stamp set that I actually just bought from my Close to My Heart consultant, and I don't remember what it was called. I think it was the stamp of the month, and so I was like, oh, that's a nice little border. That would look cute on there. So I put that at the top, and I don't put anything underneath my my layout, which was a big, duh. I totally should have done that, but I didn't, and so it kind of got everywhere on my mat, and so I'm going to end up having to use a baby wipe to clean that up. So here I pull out this paper that I had used probably months ago for glitter when I had done a glitter project, and I was like, well, that was kind of dumb. I shouldn't have done that because then when I folded it up and poured it back into the little powder there, it got a little bit of the glitter from the paper into it, which I was like, oh, well, it's not that big of a deal, but I decided the next time to pull out a new sheet, oh, excuse me, a new sheet of paper to have the embossing powder go onto, and that kind of solves that problem. So here I pull out my Stampin' Up! Heat gun, and I am going to emboss this border, and I absolutely love how it looks. And I was using some white embossing powder. I don't remember who it's from, and I don't know that it says a name on it. It was probably just Recollections, like the Michael brand. And I really, really loved how you can barely see it. Like you can, but at the same time, it's just kind of like this faint look. So it looks, I was so excited. Okay, so now what I'm doing is from that same stamp set, I had a little word phrase that said choose happy. And so I stamped that in this one area by the photos. And I think I'm gonna stamp it a couple more times. Yeah, that is what I do. So I'm gonna stamp it right above that photo. And then again, I'm gonna stamp it somewhere else. Let's see if I do that now. Oh, I stamp it down on the bottom underneath that viewfinder, and then I pour this out, and it just doesn't, for some reason, it doesn't stick and very well to it. And so I was like, you know what? You can't even, you probably won't even be able to see it down there anyway. So I decided to put it back and be done with that. So then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go, oh, I am going to do the heat part. So I heat this up, and you can't really see the part that's on the wood veneer, but I'm okay with that. I mean, I still feel okay. So here's where I decide, I think I should do it in threes because, when you do things in odd numbers, it's pleasing to the eye. So I add another choose happy stamp there. And I think, oh, I do the heating, and then I think I'm going to move over to the other layout, the other side of the layout. Yep, so I stamp up the choose happy again. I stamp right there, and then I do another one on the side. And I'm really, really happy with that. Oh, I did do a fourth one. Oh, that's funny. I don't even remember doing that one. And I just made those a couple days ago. So yeah, so now I am just going to put the embossing powder on there on each one of those places that I stamped. And then I'm going to heat them all up. And I like doing it all at the same time. So like stamp all the stamps and then pour all the powder on each area and then do all of the heating, because then it doesn't seem so tedious when you do it all at once. Okay, so now what I am doing is I'm looking for another stamp set. And well, I guess I took a break because I was like, oh, I probably need to to do the heat so that it doesn't come all rubbing off. But I wasn't quite sure how I wanted to fill the rest of that area up at the top above the title. I knew that I didn't really have very much to say journaling wise because I have a few other layouts that I've made with pictures from this session, this, what do you call it, physical therapy session. So I didn't really need to do more journaling. I decided to pull out this set. I have no idea where I got it, but it's called Peachy Keen, and it's just circles. And some of the circles are filled in, and some of them are just the outer edge of the circle. And I thought, oh, that would be so cool. Like they would look like bubbles. And so I'm going to stamp them all over both sides of the layout. So I get that done, and then I'm going to add all the powder on there. Oh, I guess I did a little bit more. I didn't realize that I did so many. So I set the stamp set aside, and then I'm going to put a bunch of powder on this left side first. And sometimes it doesn't fill in all the areas. So you kind of have to, if you just put more powder on the area that it didn't fill in, it'll fill it in, and then you can finish up. So this embossing part probably took about 45 minutes, just between all of the tedious picking out the stamps and stamping and then heat embossing and then going back and doing it again and again. And so I love the outcome. It just is, it was very time consuming. So here I'm just running the heat over all of those circles, and when I'm done with that, I'm gonna look at it and be like, okay, I think we need a few more circles. So I'm gonna pull out the stamp again. Well, I never put it away, but I'm going to pull out a different stamp, whatever thing you call that. And I'm gonna just pull off the stamps individually and just stamp them individually because that seemed to work better in that area because of the wood veneer and the title already being there. So here now I'm adding the powder to it. I'm going through that whole process again. We heated it, and then I'm gonna do a couple more circles on this right side, and then the powder, and then the heat. So I think I'm just gonna cut this out, and well, I think we're actually almost done. So yeah, I will just say goodbye. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching this layout. It was one of my favorites that I've done this year. I really, really love how it turned out, but I'm so glad that we had this embossing challenge because I bet I probably never would have finished this layout if we didn't. So anyway, thanks for joining me today. And if you haven't already, go on over and check out Jennifer and Ronnie's layouts as well. I will put not directions, links to their layouts in the description below. And I will see you next Sunday. Thanks, guys. Bye.